What up, y'all? This is Tracy from Nerd Squish, and today we're going to talk about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire at Halloween Horror Nights 33. House announcement for Horror Nights. Who you gonna call? Nerd Squish. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but let's go with it because I am excited to have yet again another announcement. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we have our 8th announcement and second IP for Halloween Horror Nights 33 with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now we knew this one was coming as we've had a 50s Cadillac symbol on the Spec map from the beginning, which of course was a reference to the famous Ecto-1 from the Ghostbusters franchise. But now we have the official announcement, so let's talk details and nerd out. But before we get into those details, if you're a returning viewer, hey, how you doing? Welcome back. And if you're new here, this is Nerd Squish, where we take everything spooky and we take everything nerdy and we squish it all together. So if you like Halloween Horror Nights, horror movies, and pop culture, definitely hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos from us in the future. Before I go any further, you know what I gotta do. It's been a hard week, so I'm gonna medicate for work, but I'm also gonna celebrate for our HHN news. Cheers, y'all. Oh yeah, it's better. So let's see what the description says for this house. A bone-chilling new specter has escaped from an ancient artifact and he'll stop you cold. The Ghostbusters must team up to save you and the rest of the world from a second ice age. So the newest house in our 2024 lineup is based off of the movie Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. This movie is a sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife and the 4th mainline installment in the Ghostbusters franchise. It takes place 3 years after the events of Ghostbusters Afterlife, and it shows the original Ghostbusters teaming up with the new crew to once again save New York City and mankind from spooky happenings where this new ghost or god is trying to basically destroy mankind with the second ice age. I'm going to be real honest, I haven't seen this movie, okay? I love the original Ghostbusters movie, but I don't know, with all the sequels, I lost interest. You know, if you've seen one Ghostbusters movie, you've kind of seen them all. So I stopped watching after Afterlife. They could just never recapture that spark that the original had. However, I've been kind of wanting to watch this one solely to see the original cast back in action. So maybe this is just a good excuse to watch it. So the cool thing about this movie, cool, get it? Is the fact that you kind of have a different setting than a lot of the other Ghostbusters movies in the fact that you are in a second ice age. So you have these snowy, icy settings. Anytime Horror Nights has incorporated weather elements into their houses, they've been some of the standout houses of their respective years, at least in my opinion. Some examples of this are The Shining and Dead Man's Pier Winter's Wake. Both of these incorporated snow and a little bit of rain, and it just further immerses you into this story that you're walking through. And that is no small feat, okay? Because we're all gonna be in Florida walking around trying not to pass out. So to leave that swampy thick air and walk into a place where you can almost believe that it's real snow and ice all around you and you might actually catch a little goosebumps, beautiful. So even if the house sucks, at least you're catching a little AC. And this isn't the first time Ghostbusters have appeared at the event. Back in 2019, they had a house based on the original movie from 1984, and it was an absolute blast. It had surprisingly good scares for a comedy house. Then again, this was an excellent year at Halloween Horror Nights. Out of the 10 houses they had that year, only one of them wasn't great. I'm looking at you, Nightingale's Blood Pit, you stinky, stinky house. No, literally, it stank. Anyway. So what can you expect to see in this Ghostbusters Frozen Empire house? First thing is lots of ice and snow. It truly will be sad exiting this house and walking back into the hellacious Florida heat. The second thing is cool lighting effects with the proton streams. There is a specific room in the 2019 Ghostbusters house that is burned into my brain. It recreated the scene in the movie where they're catching Slimer with the proton streams, and it was beautifully executed. And I fully expect to see more of that in this house. And the third and most important thing that I guarantee that we will see in this house is at least one jump scare from Slimer. In the 2019 house, he got me more than once, and I know that he makes an appearance in Frozen Empire. And your boy Slimer, he just don't quit. So like I said, I have not seen Frozen Empire, but I can almost guarantee that we'll see these three things at the house this year. I'm pretty excited for this one because, like I said, the 2019 house was amazing, and I'm expecting really, really cool sets and effects in this house. I think it's gonna follow the formula of the 2019 house, where even though it's this comedy style house, we're gonna get so many unexpected scares, and that alone is gonna make this probably a fan favorite. So now that we have our official news out the way, let's talk about some not so official news. Another spec map dropped, and we've got a couple changes going on with the scare zones that I want to take a look at. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is this little biker dude, okay? And the reason we're going to start right here is because this changed from simply just unknown to what my brain immediately goes to is devil dogs. Are you sick of me saying that yet? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not, because I ain't never gonna stop. Look, I know it's probably not devil dogs, because at the end of the day, it's just too good to be true. But come on! It's a little skull with a biker helmet. And that biker helmet is only continuing to let me live in this state of delulu where I think the devil dogs will have their day at Halloween Horror Nights. Can you even imagine? Like, I wanted a house, but imagine a scare zone of devil dogs. You would have to drag me out of there. Especially because this is in the New York area, so you've got werewolf bikers and the Mummy. I would just move in, okay? I live there now. Moving on from my delusional fantasies, we have a teddy bear. Immediately, my brain thought of the movie Imaginary. I've never seen it. I kind of feel like nobody saw it because I've literally never heard anyone talk about this movie. So that kind of makes me think that it probably won't be Imaginary, but instead, maybe it's just something like a scare zone that's themed after, you know, children's spooky toys, like scary versions of children's toys, because after all, this was on the last spec map, I believe, like a baby doll symbol. So we've definitely got some kind of children's spooky situation happening here. Next up, we have a sombrero, which I think is just gonna be some sort of Latin American themed scare zone. We previously had a sugar skull on the last spec map, so I'm thinking this is that same scare zone, it just kind of got moved around a little bit. So we still have the bow on here, which I believe to be the Megan Horde, but it did change colors to match the Death Eaters in Diagon Alley. I don't know what that means, but hey, it's green now. The next scare zone is a house symbol. Now, we previously had a house symbol on the spec map, but it was for a house. So now it's moved over to a scare zone. I don't really know if this is, you know, what this is. My brain, again, goes to Blumhouse because there's a lot of connections with Blumhouse and Halloween Horror Nights, but also how much Blumhouse can you really have at one event because we're all kind of sick of Blumhouse. But I was thinking maybe this would be a Blumhouse compilation scare zone where you just have like any and all characters from Blumhouse movies. And the last scare zone is this circle with a circle It's a circle situation. I stared at this longer than I should have to try to remember where I know this symbol from, and I honestly still didn't really come to a hard conclusion. And after my attempts at research, what I came to is that this symbol could be Vesica Piscis, which I'm probably totally saying wrong, but it's basically an ancient symbol rooted in geometry and spirituality. So maybe Horror Nights is getting a little deep. I don't know. I really don't know. Leave your best guess for whatever this could mean in the comments. So those are all of your official and not so official announcements and updates for Halloween Horror Nights 2024. Are you excited to see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire at the event this year? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so when new videos hit the channel, you'll be notified. And if you're new here, what you need to know is that I'm throwing out finger guns all the time. And stay tuned, y'all, because we have a couple of announcements to go before opening night of Halloween Horror Nights 2024, and we're gonna keep you updated on all the details. And as always, thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you nerds in the fog. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Okay, maybe I am.